your mate, Grant. Who taught you how to steal cars, Kyle? Was it your big brother?
Told you. I've got nothing to do with it.
I hope not. Because if you did, I'll find out. And then I'll be back to get you.
I phoned home. The kids are on their way. Jean's been looking after them.
How are they doing?
They're fine, but you've given us such a shock.
I'm sorry.
Do you remember what happened?
I was walking to the mini market on the corner. I was going to get us something for dinner. This car drove by, sounding its horn. It was going quite fast.
It just drove past you?
Must have turned round, because I remember thinking I'd seen it moments before. It speeded up. That's all I can remember.
You think it deliberately turned around and drove into you?
Yeah.
Did you see the driver?
Sorry.
Sorry.
Jay Anderson.
You from the insurance company?
No, Sandhill Police. I'd like to ask you some questions about the fire. So have you or your family upset anyone recently?
We're always upsetting people. Cheryl, I said to bring the heavier stuff out first, leave that till later. It's been all right stressful, ladies.
We understand you've been receiving threatening letters.
And silent phone calls.
Kept any of these letters?
I'm gonna head off now, Jay, all right?
I'll call you later.
You lot are dirty, filthy animals.
Yes.
Oh. Gets better. So when did you receive that?
This one, just before Christmas. Decided not to pull it up with the rest of the cards.
You had many of these then?
4 or 5.
Why didn't you report them?
It's not the way we handle things. Everywhere we've ever lived, we've had grief. We always deal with it in time.
Meaning?
So you got any idea who might have sent it?
Be one of this lot. I don't know who, but I'll find out soon enough. I've already got my suspicions.
Why don't you let us handle it, Jay? We'll be much quicker.
I doubt it.
I'm warning you. Don't take matters into your own hands. And don't do something you might regret.
Don't worry. I never regret a thing.
We'll talk about it later, yeah? I've got to go. Bye.
Problems?
One of my cousins is getting married. My parents want me to go to the wedding.
I'm sure we can get the day off for that.
My day might not be quite long enough.
Oh, Hindu thing, is it? Better go on a bit.
It's the travelling that makes it difficult.
Oh, where is it?
Perth.
Scotland? You can get a return there and back in a day.
Though, Perth in Australia.
Oh, not fun. Just turn it into a holiday. Could be fun.
Fun. Fending off questions from various aunts and uncles. Explaining to them why I chose to become a police officer. Why I haven't found myself a husband yet. Why such a nice child has grown up to become such a disappointment to her parents. Fun? Just be joking.
Fair enough.
Isn't that the car?
That's it. It's the one. That's our hit and run car.
Yeah, Oscar from 437.
We need to keep an eye on Jay. Make sure he behaves himself.
Uniform will need to maintain a physical presence outside the house to make sure it's not targeted again. It's time to grab a coffee. You want one?
No, thank you. Hey, what do you got?
Michelle Henderson gave us the name of a girl who's friendly with Jay. Her name's Cheryl Welks. Now, apparently, she was seen in the area last night.
Well, I saw her at the house earlier.
Well, we're just about to interview her now.
Let me know what she says. I mean, we've got these threatening letters, but we got no joy with the neighbours.
Yeah, I'm sure me and Joe can pick up the slack.
Didn't realise it was a competition.
As always, see you later.
Pathetic.
Is that problems?
No, nothing. Just Phil being his usual competitive self.
Oh, typical. Well, we'll show him as the better team by the end of the day, won't we?
What did Rod say?
He doesn't remember seeing the driver, but he's awake. That's the main thing.
What about Carl Henderson?
Still protesting he's innocent. What about your brother?
Well, Jay? Well, you're saying that he deliberately ran Rod over because his brother was being picked on in school? I don't think so. I think he'd tell Carl to fight his own battles. Why do you think Carl's involved anyway?
Don't know. Just a feeling.
Look, I don't mind you bringing me in or anything. It's just that, well, I don't know how much I can help you, that's all.
It's just routine questions, Cheryl. Sometimes people know more than they think, but there's no need to be nervous. All right? So, we understand that you were seen near the Hendersons' house last night.
Yeah, I was down at the shops and... Well, that's when I heard the fire engines, so I thought I'd go see what was happening. Couldn't believe it when I saw it at Jay's house.
What, are you friends with Jay?
Well, I'd say more than just friends.
So how long has this been going on then?
We've been seeing each other a while now. Did his dad see me last night, then?
No, his mum did.
Cheryl, was Tommy Henderson at the house last night?
Look, I know Jay and his dad don't get on. So I don't want to say anything that might stir things up, all right?
Well, all we're asking is where you saw Tommy.
Look, I've been down at the shops and I was heading home and I just thought I'd pop by Jay's to see if it looked like he was in and back from his mates, but, you know, I didn't want him to think I was checking up on him or anything, because, well, he hates that. Anyway, that's when I saw Tommy coming in the opposite direction.
So what you're saying is you did see Tommy walking away from the scene of the fire?
Yeah, well, he wasn't really walking, but he wasn't running either, you know.
But he was in a hurry, though.
Yeah, I suppose. But, I mean, he wouldn't have anything to do with the fire, would he? Because, I mean, his kids live there, so that wouldn't make sense, would it?
All right, thank you.
Tommy was seen walking away from the scene of the fire, and we know he's not Mr. Popular with the family at the moment.
Well, funny you should mention that, because Uniform just reported a disturbance outside the Hendersons' house. Tommy Henderson and a neighbour, George Robinson.
Right, Joe and I will take this one.
Oh, thank you. You and Joe can wait here. We'll talk to Tommy Henderson.
You have no Hey, where do I stop? What's going on? What's going on here? This man's a maniac. He attacked me for no reason.
Ask him about the fire. Ask him what he tried to do to my family.
You think I had something to do with it? You're crazy. Crazy!
My son Kyle told me what you've said. How you wanted him out of the house. Not good enough neighbours for you.
I'm not denying it. Your children have been nothing but trouble since the day they moved in.
All right, well, Mr. Henderson, we think you might help us on inquiries. So
Huh? Hey, bring him away from me!
Mr. Henderson, you're coming with us.
So what do you know about the fire last night?
I know that my family's neighbours want him out. George Robinson told me this morning.
Told you what exactly?
That they weren't popular and whether they'd moved now the fire had happened. Clearly didn't know who I was till I hit him.
So you're admitting to the assault?
A witness said you were seen at Michelle's house last night, Tommy.
So?
So what were you doing there?
Is that why you were looking for me? Because you think I had something to do with it?
One thing at a time. So you admit you went to the family's house last night?
Yeah, but I didn't start a fire. It was one of the neighbours, I'm telling you. They've been victimising my family. Kyle told me that Robinson's always flashing them looks, like they're not good enough to live there. Snobs.
So what were you doing at the house then, Mr. Henderson? Because, as we understand it, you and your wife aren't on the best of terms.
I wanted to talk to her, didn't I? We'll see if we could sort things out between us. I miss my family.
Well, your son Jay seems to think that you're just out for a share of the lottery money.
Yeah, I did think I deserved some of the money, but now, no. I just want some company, really. I mean, I've just spent Christmas sitting in a rubbish little bedsit on my own.
A cynic might say that you set fire to the house so that you could offer your wife some comfort afterwards.
What? While Carl was in there? Oh, come on.
Or maybe you didn't know Carl was inside.
Oh, this is just plain ridiculous.
You were seen hurrying down the street away from the house, Mr. Henderson. You went one way, the fire engines went the other.
Look, I didn't even get a chance to knock on the front door, OK? I was about to when that bloke walked over and started throwing rubbish all over the front garden. I said, "Oi, what do you think you're doing?" He walked away without a care in the world. As soon as I saw him again this morning, well, I just saw red. You should have heard what he said about my wife. He wants him out.
Are you really saying that you think George Robinson is responsible for starting the fire?
He's had it in for him since day one. Ask him.
Right, Carl claims that he was at his mate's house playing computer games at the time of the hit and run at Grant Colton, 34 Elverton Gardens.
That's barely a 5-minute walk from here. 2 minutes if he was running.
Yeah. Get yourself round there and see what this kid's got to say for himself. If he's not there, try the skateboard path, all right?
Sure.
Any luck?
Nothing. Most people around here were working yesterday afternoon.
The only